John Cena. Oh, you know what? I can't see him in that role. Because of his catchphrase.
Yeah.
I understand the joke, sir. I just hate it. That's fair.
I love it. Hey guys, my name's Dan, and today's reaction is the pitch meeting for the brand new Suicide Squad movie. Now, I'm going to do my very best not to talk over Ryan too much, because I do have a lot to say about this, as I took a whole bunch of notes while watching this movie, and I will leave that for the very end of the video, because I'll be honest, I'm not entirely sure whether I liked it or not, but like I said, we'll hold off on that. But before we get into it, if you haven't already, please go over and support Screen Rant and Ryan George's channels. I'll leave both of those links, along with links to the original video in the description. And as you guys can see, we are at 6,000 subscribers. Thank you so much for helping me get there, but I do not want to stop there. I want to continue to grow this channel as much as I possibly can, but I cannot do that without your guys' help. And all you pitch meeting fans out there, not only by subscribing will you help me to do so, but you'll also get access to future and past pitch meeting reactions that I've already done, and it's super easy to do. First, go right below this video, give that like button some love, and then click that big red button there. And without any further ado, let's go.
So, you have a movie for me? Yes, sir, I do. So, you remember Suicide Squad from 2016?
Sure.
Oh, yeah, that movie that I hired people to kind of chop up, and then everybody blamed the director for how much they hated it? That's the one. So, I was thinking we make another one, but we add "the" to the title. Oh, that has a nice ring to it, actually.
Okay.
Right. Yeah. Suicide Squad, the. No? Oh, you want to put it at the beginning?
Oh, yeah,
that's good, too. Great. So, is this like a sequel, or a reboot, or a soft reboot? Yes. Fantastic.
No,
yeah, we're gonna
nobody
take some
knows.
of the characters from the first movie, played by the same actors. Oh, very fun, and some new ones too. Oh yeah, there's gonna be a bunch of new characters. There's gonna be one named Blackguard, and I thought we could get Pete Davidson to play him. People love Pete Davidson. That's gonna be a fun character, and his face is gonna explode almost immediately. Oh my god. I also thought we could get Nathan Fillion in here. Oh, no, he's great. What's he gonna do? Die almost immediately? Okay, wow. Michael Rooker, he'd be great to play one of these guys.
Yes.
Do what? Die almost immediately. Okay, what is happening? Well, see, sir, there's gonna be a whole Suicide Squad team at the beginning of the movie that just kind of gets wiped out as a distraction. Okay, so like lesser known characters, and then you'll have more known characters in the movie too, like Captain Boomerang. Yeah, he's in the movie. So what's he gonna do? Die almost immediately. Oh my god, okay, does anyone not die immediately? Is the movie 5 minutes long? Well, we want to start the movie by sending the message that anyone can die at any time, right?
Yes.
Ah, that's just like in real life.
Yes.
So anyway, out of that first team, there's Rick Flag and Harley Quinn that make it out alive. And what about on the main team? Who do we have on there? Well, there's this one guy, right? And he's like an amazing shooter, and he's like a reluctant leader, and his main motivation is his daughter. Yeah, Deadshot. I know Deadshot. He was in the last movie. Nope, this is a guy called Bloodsport. Oh, that... Okay, and there's this other predatory animal character that eats humans. Killer Croc, yeah, I know. No, this is King Shark.
King Shark.
I should stop trying to predict things, I guess. You're not particularly good at it,
No,
sir.
you're not.
We also have this other character who shoots polka dots, and another one who controls rats. Working for pest control is tight. No, her name is Ratcatcher, too, and she can, like, control rats with her mind. And then there's Peacemaker, who's like Bloodsport, except he murders in the name of peace. Who were you thinking for that role? I was thinking maybe John Cena. Oh, you know what? I can't see him in that role. Because of his catchphrase.
Yeah.
I understand the joke, sir. I just hate it. That's fair.
I love it.
Anyway, pretty much all these characters have sad backstories. Oh, okay. So I imagine they're each going to have a tattoo on their forehead explaining that? No. What?
No.
Then how will people know? Well, once in a while, one of them will stop and explain their past to the other characters, which I think you'll agree is a little more subtle. I guess. And so, yeah, Amanda Waller implants
it's much better than explaining it all together.
bombs into all these people's necks, which is the whole premise of the thing. Sure. And so she sends them all to this island laboratory to destroy this experiment called Project Starfish. So what kind of stuff does the squad get up to on this island? Oh, well, first of all, they need to go save Rick Flag because it seems like he's been captured. Okay. So Peacemaker and Bloodsport, they have this kind of competition where they go through this camp and just kill people in horrific ways, just extremely bloody and graphic.
Yes.
Oh, so we're like talking like an R rating here. Yeah, because this way we get to see some brains and spinal cords and say stuff like 69 and splooge. 69, that's the funny number.
Yeah, it is.
And the other stuff is gross. Yeah, it
Yes.
is. Very fun. We eventually reach this tent that Rick Flag is in, and it turns out the camp was full of good guys. He wasn't even captured.
Whoopsie.
Whoopsie. And so Rick Flag didn't hear any of the commotion? No, he didn't hear the people screaming or exploding or the guard tower collapsing right next to him. How did he not hear any of that? Well, he was in a tent. Oh, tents are known for being soundproof. Carry on. And so we're also gonna meet up with Harley Quinn. And what's she up to? Well, see, since she's the most popular character, I figured she should get her own solo movie. Well, she already got her own movie. Yeah, well, she's gonna get another one inside of this one. That makes sense. So she has this whole big side quest and even a love interest, and she ends up being captured by these military people, and she's being tortured for info. Oh, that's painful. It sure is, sir. But then she pretends to be unconscious, and so she strangles this guy with her legs when his back is turned. Well, thank God he took a break with his back turned while still within her reach.
Right?
The plan wouldn't have worked at all. It worked out pretty great. So then she takes out a whole bunch of military guys with like crazy martial arts and stuff. Harley Quinn is better at hand-to-hand combat than a full squad of trained military people. Yes. No further questions. So eventually they get their hands on this bad guy called the Thinker, who's been running the starfish experiment for like 30 years. Okay. And so obviously that's gonna lead into like the third act where they have a big situation to deal with. Oh, I see where you're going with this. So what color's the sky beam gonna be? Actually, I was kind of thinking maybe we don't do a sky beam. Well, we usually do a sky beam. Yeah, but I was thinking we could do more of like a giant hive mind starfish from outer space getting eaten by millions of rats, and one of the main characters pierces its eye with a javelin, and all the rats go in there. We usually do a sky beam, though. Yeah, I know. Okay. So anyway, it turns out that Amanda Waller told Peacemaker to get this hard drive that proves that the government's been funding the whole starfish thing. Oh. But Rick Flag doesn't think that's very nice, so they get in a fight, and Peacemaker kills Rick Flag. Very rude. And then Ratcatcher 2 gets the hard drive, so Peacemaker wants to kill her. Yeah, it's gonna be hard for her to get out of that situation. Actually, it's gonna be super easy. Barely an inconvenience. Oh, really? Yes, because of an explosion, Bloodsport's gonna fall through multiple stories in a building and land in the exact spot he needs to be in to save the day without injury. Super convenient. That is convenient. It sure is, sir. Then we're gonna have a scene where King Shark falls from a building and gets shot point blank with a bunch of machine guns, but his skin's so tough it doesn't hurt him at all. Very cool. How'd they inject the bomb into his neck? Unclear. And so this explosion is also gonna set this giant hive mind starfish free. And so this thing shoots out little starfish that attach to people's faces. And that's how it does its hive mind thing? Exactly. So I guess the good guys need to keep their faces covered for the whole fight, huh? No, they just do it like once each and that does the trick. Oh, fantastic. Yeah, cause see, we're gonna wanna see their faces, so these little starfish just kind of stop going for them after a bit. Wow, okay, so this hive mind is kind of a big moral dilemma to tackle, huh? Like, do you kill these people that are innocent, but they're being mind controlled by an alien? Oh no, we're gonna have a little line explaining that they're corpses under the starfish, so they're already dead. Oh, okay, thank God. So we don't have a sky beam, but we do have a faceless, soulless army. Well, we gotta do some of the classics. Yeah, we do. So then Ratcatcher 2 summons millions of rats to attack this starfish. Seems like maybe she could have solved a lot of the movie's problems all on her own. Yeah, well, this is the climax of the movie, so this is really when they use the full extent of their powers. That's fair. And so yeah, then Harley Quinn pierces the eye of the giant starfish with a javelin, and that takes care of that. And so they hadn't fired bullets at the giant starfish eye? They did, but only the javelin does any damage. Well, okay then. Apparently. As Starro is dying, he's like, I was happy floating in space, looking at the stars. Hey, excuse me, did you just make me feel bad for a giant alien starfish with a single line?
Yes!
Wow. And so yeah, that's about it. What do you think? Well, it sounds like a lot of fun, you know? I think it's gonna perform great at the box office. Me too, sir. So long as there's not some kind of seemingly unending worldwide event that causes hesitancy in people going to the theaters and also completely changes the way we release movies to streaming. Why would you say that?
Oh boy, why Suicide Squad is a box office disappointment. James Gunn, the Suicide Squad had a disappointing opening weekend at the domestic box office, and there are quite a few reasons why. And of course, one, being the worldwide pandemic that's going on, and the fact that we have access to HBO Max, so where we can watch it on there basically for free. So like I said, I do have some notes here. I do have a lot, but not all of them are that important, so I'm just trying to skip over all of those. So as Ryan said, a lot of the characters in the very beginning died to sort of establish that anybody can die at any time, which, does happen. But I also thought it was very important to show just how chaotic it went, because, that's kind of, that sets the tone for the movie. It's very chaotic from start to finish. And then you have the fact that these are all very unhinged characters. So, of course, they're going to go head on into this, and they're all going to die. That makes sense. Because then you have the other team who are all unhinged too, but they're not in the same scenario, so they have that sort of time to connect with each other and get to be kind of friends, kind of not. And of course, they talked a little bit about John Cena, and they showed him sleeping in his tidy whities because, of course, John Cena would be wearing that for one, and two, because, you know, he's super jacked anyway. So let's show that for all the female fans out there. So speaking of John Cena, I really enjoy the Freedom Fighter scene where they killed them all, but they killed them in such creative ways, and Peacemaker and Bloodsport are just sort of staring at each other sometimes while they do it. It's all a huge bunch of gore, and just apparently there was some dong there throughout the scene, which she didn't really point out, but you kind of have to, because, you know, that's something you're not expecting, and I know I certainly wasn't expecting it. And, you know, with how stupid that guard was for letting Harley Quinn basically snap his neck right there by standing right next to her, back turned on the phone. Like, that's got to be the dumbest guard ever. And then, of course, she takes everybody out. What I didn't like wasn't any part in particular. It was just like the really long stretch of time between the very beginning and then to where they're all like huddle up together and they're, you know, they're set on their mission. Is, you know, the first hour of the movie, they're kind of jumping around a lot of different places, right? And it's really confusing, and if you're not really following it very closely, you're like, okay, what happened there? Wait, what? Okay, now we're jumping over here. So that part wasn't really great, because you had the part to where, you know, Team A, they sort of, they bit the dust, right? And, you know, Pete Davidson's character, he died. But then we went back in time with Bloodsport. You know, he's sort of cleaning the entire jail. And then you see Pete Davidson's character just sort of walk around like, oh, hey, here you go, man. Like tossing him some more trash. It's like, wait, wasn't he dead? And then, you know, that was sort of their way of, like, introducing his character there. And then you jump over to Peter Capaldi's character and him talking with all of the leaders of this nation and that they're in. And it's sort of just jumping all over the place. And then once they all get together, all the members of the Suicide Squad, and they rescue Harley Quinn, and now they have the goal. You have all the, you know, the good guys in one area, and then you have all the bad guys in the other area, and then you have the freedom fighters. So then we have sort of like, we go into the climax. We go into basically like the final act of the movie. And that's where all the characters are sort of getting along. Some of them have their own little goals, but we understand what's happening. It's not really hard to explain. Bad guys, good guys, you know, that it's pretty simple, and you know, the fun just sort of, you know, resumed from there. And overall, because of that, the movie wasn't perfect, but it was really good. It was enjoyable once we got past all the chaotic mess in the very beginning for me. All the gore was fun, the banter was great, and the way it ended was pretty cool, because I was also really sad, because, you know, I don't want to see John Cena's character die, because part of me, the wrestling fan in me, is like, can we have him still be alive and then have him go up against Black Adam, because Black Adam is played by The Rock, and, you know, The Rock and John Cena had a thing at WrestleMania twice, and, you know, it would be fun to see that in DC. I don't know if that's where they're going with it, but I would certainly enjoy it. So that will do it for me here, but before I go, though, I want to give a huge shout out to all my $5 and up supporters on Patreon. Marvin Espinoza, Cruising, Warrior 310, Kester Cronage, aka Kevin Crone, Amber K, and Minnie Mel. Thank you guys so very much. And if you too like to have your name mentioned at the end of each and every one of my videos, plus many other fun goodies, please head on over to patreon.com. The link will be right there and in the description. And with that being said, comment down below. Let me know, what did you think about the Suicide Squad? Please leave a like if you enjoyed. Also want to see Bash Reacts and other pitch meetings. Got a nice playlist right over there full of videos for you. Share this video, subscribe if you subscribed already, ring notification bell because I put new videos every single day. And I'll see you guys next time.